Jonathan Dwight Jones is doomed. That's right, because there's nowhere left for Jon Jones to go. No more ducking, no more running, and no more fighting washed old men with a limp. And no more begging former middleweights to defend your heavyweight title against. I would also say no more late night Las Vegas arrests, but hey, you never know. Not like failing a drug test stopped him from doing it another 3 times. So hey, sky's the limit. But regarding the whole Jon Jones ducking saga that's been going on for, well, years now. A decade even, if you want to include the time he ducked a USADA testing agent under a cage for an entire evening. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. We had to wait an entire 3 years for Jon Jones to bulk up to heavyweight, where he had an early midlife crisis, cosplaying as a military soldier for a year with, you know, just the odd late night Las Vegas arrest. But if we're being real, you could also just say he was ducking Ngannou the entire time. And now it's been over 2 years as Jon Jones as our undisputed heavyweight champion. So what does he have to show for his title reign? 3 heavyweight title fights. You're probably thinking, hey, that's actually pretty good. But rest assured, 2 of those were Tom Aspinall title fights. Yes, the interim champion has provided us with more title fights against higher ranked contenders that aren't in their 40s, that don't walk with a limp. It's almost as if he's been the real heavyweight champion all along, without 4 failed drug tests. And I feel like it's not even hyperbole anymore. He might as well just genuinely be considered the real heavyweight champion. He basically is. He's about to break 500 days as a reigning interim champion. He's about to break the record for the longest reigning interim champion of all time. And sure, Jon Jones can pretend to act self-aware because, oh, look at me, I have a duck as my profile picture on social media for the last 5 months. You can't make fun of me, guys. As if we haven't already seen him walk out of interviews because the interviewer was British. Fans have been bullying him the past year, and we already know how fragile his ego is about his legacy. You know, the legacy being the biggest cheating duck in UFC history. He can cope all he wants about it, but we all know how it makes him feel deep down.
Hello, Jon. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight.
It's going to be hard to convince me you're a defending champ if you don't fight Tom Aspinall.
It's going to be the biggest heavyweight fight ever.
Well, he's gay. He's gay. Jon Jones is gay now.
He's beating his wife. We have to stop it.
He knows that I can bounce his head off the canvas. He knows it.
I hate you.
So we just let him hit her. We let him kill her.
No.
They all know I'm a fraud. What do you care what a bunch of mud people think?
And now, this is what I got.
Say it! Want them to love me. Gutsy!
And what did I do?
We don't know when he comes back and what he does to him.
And this might be a hot take, so I mean, prepare yourself. Hot take alert! I actually think this whole ducking saga has gotten so pathetic that we've actually got to the stage where Jones will need Aspinall more than Aspinall needs Jones. Jones will act like Tom Aspinall's been begging him to come out of retirement, as if he's not been blocking up the division on his fat ass, holding up this guy's career, who's been more than deserving at a title shot. The only reason he needs Jones is for the undisputed title that he's avoiding fighting for. Once he's stripped, that's over.
495 days you've been the interim champ, man. How much longer are you willing to wait holding the interim title?
I just want to fight somebody. I'm a professional fighter and I want to fight somebody. And I'm overweighting, to be honest. I want to fight. But whoever wants it, whether that's Jon Jones or somebody else, I will fight somebody sometime soon. I'm sure Jon has a contract, and I'm sure that's going to come to an end at some point, but the UFC say that they're working on him taking this fight every day. No, I'm not a promoter. I don't make the contracts. I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you.
I can tell you what it means. It means he's ducking you. Jon Jones, however, has now just been exposed as the biggest ducking coward we've ever seen in the sport, on top of already being the biggest cheat we've seen in the sport. What a legacy this guy has. And with no options left but to fight Aspinall, either he doesn't and he'll be last remembered in his career for ducking Aspinall like the coward he is, and never once fighting the best heavyweight in the world while being heavyweight champion, since he also ducked Ngannou for 3 years. And if anyone disagrees with him ducking Ngannou, how come it was only Ngannou and Aspinall that requires you money, and he's applying the same negotiation tactics that got him out of an Ngannou fight with Aspinall now? Or he could just fight Aspinall and inevitably get his ass beat. Wow, I guess he's either way. And he can act as nonchalant as he wants, but we all know how much the ducking stuff bothers him and his fragile ego over his legacy which is as fraudulent as they come.
A grown man out here chasing his dreams. It's funny that we really live in a world where being called a duck should affect me. Guys, come on.
Quack, quack, quack. I guess I'll be a duck. I guess I'll be it. You gotta be able to be called names, right? Yeah. People can call me a duck and a chicken.
Quack, 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 quack.
The duck and chicken thing is kind of funny. Buying a little duck and just the little shit that he does. He's annoying to me. The duck and chicken thing is kind of funny.
And at this stage, I would say most fans have just given up completely on the idea of this fight even ever happening. Most UFC fans, and Aspinall included, just want to see Aspinall fight for the undisputed title, whoever that may be against, since, you know, you're ducking him for the last couple years.
I don't want to wait any longer. I'm in the gym. Let me fight somebody.
And the sad reality for Jones being he can't let go of his fragile ego and vacate a belt that he has no intentions of defending against actual contenders that have earned the opportunity to fight for. So instead, will hold on to it for as long as he possibly can for his own gain, because without the belt and without his legacy that's completely tainted and tarnished, he can't identify himself as a GOAT and cope with the sad reality of the person that he actually is without it, which is a person that most fans despise. Also, if you ever want to know a telltale sign when Jon Jones is like genuinely upset, pretty much whenever he brings up money.
People can call me a duck and a chicken. I'm gonna go home and cash a massive check. And so the duck and chicken thing is kind of funny.
Like, you can look back on many of his classic tweets, for example. Is this the biggest duck in UFC history? I'm going to hide in my mansion and not come outside. People are calling me a duck. Come on now, my world is over. What is this, high school? Lol. Also reminds me of the time that a fan once called Jones a duck, so Jones obviously reasonably DM'd him back. Just, you know, poor shaming him for probably living in an apartment.
This is Jones. What if I'm filthy rich and literally own not one, but two small mansions in the same town? What does that make me? I'm just curious. To that, the fan replies, all that money in the world, and you're still this much of an insecure coward. Just go fight Steve and retire so that we can forget about you already. Keep ducking Aspinall, pal. John then replied, I've already agreed to make $15 million in my next fight. Hell yeah, bro. I'm about to beat this old man up and ride off into the sunset. And I hope you enjoy watching it. Will, this is Jones. Jones wrote that. I'm telling you right now, as a guy that has exchanged direct messages with him, that he wrote that. I think he wrote that. I could be proven wrong. Sure. I could be proven wrong. But
considering that his main response to being criticized for being a duck being he owns mansions, I think probably answers the question to this original tweet. And there's just no more delusional cope to worm his way out of this Aspinall fight anymore.
I think selfishly, you know, a lot of fans are excited to have someone who's 7 years younger than me and like 35 pounds bigger than me.
I hate to break this to you, John, but if he was in fact 35 pounds heavier than you, then he wouldn't actually be qualified to fight in the weight class. Not only is he not 35 pounds heavier than you, he's only 3 pounds heavier than Stipe. I guess him mogging you in person left quite the impression. You know, when he didn't want to do a face-off with him in person, but more than happy to face off with the shit heavyweights.
People just, I guess I'm that good that people are just like, we finally may have found someone.
I'm that good that we finally found somebody for me to duck.
But when it comes to like my point of view, to fight someone my age and my body size.
Same size. Keep in mind, Aspinall is in his actual weight class, and Alex Pereira was getting brutally knocked out in middleweight, while Jones was already the heavyweight champion. And it's kind of funny that Jones only seems to care about an age and size advantage when it doesn't benefit him. At this point, he's not just ducking, but he's actually discrediting his own best wins. His entire legacy is built off beating smaller, older guys. His biggest win being against Daniel Cormier, who Cormier being older than Jones is Aspinall.
I mean, if you can't understand that logic, then you don't want to listen.
No, we just don't give a about catering to all your wants and needs as the biggest ducking, cheating champion in UFC history. We just want the defending interim champion to get a title shot. This is just shameless. It's so shameless. And after such classics covering the ducking topic from last year, like my How Jon Jones Became the Most Pathetic UFC Champion video, or the sequel, How Tom Aspinall Ruined Jon Jones, and then, of course, the trilogy, Why Jon Jones Is Not the GOAT, I thought the topic had been milked enough. Clearly not. And for any of you that watch these videos and doesn't stay all that in touch with MMA community and what the fans think, even I myself was surprised with how much the fans have just revolted against Jones. I mean, I thought I'd get at least some pushback on these types of videos that I've made on Jon Jones, but nope. These are unironically some of the most supported videos I've ever done. Granted, I have had Jon Jones fans also make videos telling me to F myself.
I was absolutely disgusted at what I just saw on YouTube with this JG2. You know, JG2. When you watch this, I want you to see if you can fly and jump off a fucking roof. All right? How about that? You're absolutely disgusting.
But hey, all is forgiven. I can let it slide, you know. We could just chalk this up to mental illness, I guess. That's at least the best way I can describe being a Jon Jones fanboy. Like, seriously, the only people to support Jones through all of this are either clueless morons, Dana White, fighters that just so happen to support the biggest cheat in the sport's history, and this guy.
John, who do you want to fight after this? You know, I was seeing the internet talk about someone, and I saw you not paying any attention to it.
Oh yes, that infamous someone.
But I'd like to fight against Alex Perez.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And I see what everyone else is saying, and it's like, I understand what you're saying too, because it's like, it's never been like a discussion yet.
I mean, sure, but he is the interim champion after all, so it would make sense he would be next after this shambolic matchup at least, right?
Like on the other person.
I guess we still won't say his actual name. Just to be clear, they are talking about Aspinall, not Voldemort.
Yeah, I would love to see. I think the fans love to see it too.
Thank you, Aiden Ross. Of all the people to represent MMA fans, I'm glad you, of all people, are speaking on behalf of MMA fans as somebody that doesn't even know Aspinall's name.
Quack, 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 quack.
I don't think you're ducking, because if you were ducking, you wouldn't call it Alex.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I see, because you're literally saying that you want to fight Alex Pereira.
I'm sorry. This guy is a f***ing I can't do this anymore. Where is that? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, nah, you're not ducking Aspinall because you've clearly been calling out the guy a weight class below you. It's not like you were ducking Ngannou, because I saw you fighting Vegas that one time.
Tom Aspinall. Do you think he's done enough to earn a heavyweight title shot?
Well, that's up to Jon Jones. There comes a point in our careers where we've done it all, we've seen it all. No one's done that more than Jon Jones.
You don't think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
Absolutely not. Jon wants favorable fights.
I don't know if you're aware, Usman, but you essentially just described ducking to a T.
As humans, we love to watch invincibility shattered. We love it. For some reason, we thirst for it. So we help build the aura of invincibility.
Okay, we don't need the campfire story voice. You're not reading a poem. You're just coping about Jones being a ducking coward.
Everyone's pulling it. You're great. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. You're the greatest. But secretly, we want to see that broken.
I mean, it's not a secret, and it's not a shock that fans would want to see him lose, considering all the things he's done that I can't be bothered to repeat for the millionth time.
I feel like that's the same with Jon, because and when I was champion, it's the same thing. It's like, hey, no, that you should fight that guy next. That guy's gonna beat you, and then you defeat that guy. Then they go, oh no, that's the next guy. That guy's is gonna be the one to do it. And then you defeat them. Then they're like, no, that guy's gonna do it.
I get Usman was a UFC champion, but I've actually gotten to the point where I'm actually confused on what Usman thinks a UFC champion is actually supposed to be. Like, you're not doing us a favor defending the that is the champion's job.
They're gonna always continue to say, Jon, no, that guy's gonna do it, that guy's gonna do it, that guy's gonna do it.
No, not even remotely true. You can look up the odds for every Jones fight since 2009, and he's opened and closed as the favorite in every single fight, but the Gane one where he opened as the underdog and the fight closed with him as the favorite. Aspinall is the only guy ever since Jones has been a champion to open and close as a favorite against him. Coincidentally, also a guy he's completely ducking and avoiding. But hey, you know, just a coincidence. I'll never forget the time that Jon Jones faced off with Anthony Smith and a fan screamed. Like, where has this narrative come from that he's just some little humble champion that has taken on all these challenges that everyone doubted him against? He's always been the favorite. He's always had the advantages. And he's had 4 failed drug tests. All we've ever wanted as fans for the longest of time now is for him to either fight Ngannou or Aspinall, and not the mother of his children. And then you got the fanboys that will say Aspinall is still unproven, he's a bum and done nothing, even though their hero Jones fought differently before he had to fight him.
Like, what are the guys that you want to see that gets you fucking excited?
Tom Aspinall. I think he has the potential to do something really special in the heavyweight division. I think he's going to be hard for the majority of guys to beat. I really do believe that. I'm excited for their futures and the UFC, see where they're going to go.
I mean, that is true. He could be doing something special if you weren't just so happening to be wasting years of his career blocking the division with your fat ducking ass. And since Jones saying he was excited to see how Aspinall's career would go, since he won the interim title and became an actual challenge to him, has basically been hate watching him ever since.
I watched his fight against Curtis earlier today. Honestly, it was my first time seeing it. Your boy was getting that ass kicked. His knee blowing was the best thing that could have happened to him. I've learned over the years to never bet against American wrestlers. I'm going to laugh the hardest if your boy ends up losing. Go back and watch the fight. In the short time it lasted, Tom lost almost every exchange. Curtis was touching that chin from the moment the fight started. I'm telling you guys, film study is one of my great strengths. If Curtis wants by knockout or ground and pound, I would not be surprised.
It really feels like this man has the mental maturity of a child, kind of like his deranged fanboys as well. And now we're hearing that he wants 6 months to prepare once the fight is locked in.
Clock is ticking on that one because, you know, I was told that Jon wants 6 months to prepare if the fight is locked in.
This fight is never happening. And much like all of you, I'm also confused on why he would need 6 months to prepare. You'd think a year and a half of ducking him would have been enough time to prepare himself. And on top of all of that, they still haven't even got the negotiations done with Jones in the first place. I can only imagine the negotiations are looking something like this.
Okay, wow. So what does he want now? He's on, let's give him 200K. That's fair, isn't it? 200K? 250K. Nah, 200K, man. Oh, shit. Yo, give me one second, man. Yo, chill. What? Where you going? Relax, man. Let's negotiate, man.
We've gotten to the point where even Aspinall is sick of all of this shit.
Jon Jones, you don't know where you stand. Dana said it's the biggest fight in UFC history now, so...
Yeah, I've had enough talking about it, mate. I'm honestly bored of it.
And now with Alex Pereira losing his title at UFC 313, has basically left Jones with nowhere left to run and has pretty much backed himself into a corner.
Tactical nuke ready for launch.
Hello, Jon. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you.
This essentially being Jones losing his last hope at ducking Aspinall anymore. Funny enough though, Dricus du Plessis also seemed disappointed to see a potential Pereira fight also go down the drain for himself.
Thanks a lot for taking the biggest fight out of my life.
But if it's any consolation to Dricus du Plessis, considering you are a middleweight champion, you can at least expect the big call out from Jon Jones any day now.
Sign up to my boy's YouTube channel. That is JG2. And for those who don't, you can do me a favor and you can bend the knee to King Triple C too.